Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes, but to get into accord with them. They are legitimately what directs high conduct in the world. Just as no one can be forced into belief, so no one can be forced into unbelief. The virtuous man contents himself with dreaming that which the wicked man does in actual life. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. Ultimately, after endless rebuffs, it succeeds. This is one of the few points in which one may be optimistic about the future of mankind. The only person with whom you have to compare yourself is you in the past. The mind is like an iceberg, it floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. Thought is action and rehearsal. Friendship is an art of keeping distance while love is an art of intimacy. In the small matters trust the mind, in the large ones the heart. Time spent with cats is never wasted. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. A layman will no doubt find it hard to understand how pathological disorders of the body and mind can be eliminated by mere words. He will feel that he is being asked to believe in magic. People do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility and most people are frightened of responsibility. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. The ego is not master in its own house. Love and work, work and love. That's all there is. The conscious mind may be compared to a fountain playing in the sun and falling back into the great subterranean pool of subconscious from which it rises. Public self is a conditioned construct of the inner psychological self. We are what we are because we have been what we have been, and what is needed for solving the problems of human life and motives is not more estimates but more knowledge. One of the keys to happiness is to use your money for experiences, not desires. Love is honesty. There is no compulsion or a sense of the vent. Lack of a partner becomes something that makes a relationship should complement each other. There is no need for perfection. Just find someone who always makes you happy. And do you mean more than anyone else? Lust will only bring temporary happiness. However, sincere and true love will give true happiness. My past is mine. Your past is yours. But the future is ours. When we are young, we spend it lazy. Then he will also be lazy and don't feel like he will die tomorrow. But if we study a lot and analyze a lot, then when he is old he wins. There is no point in having a high IQ, but being lazy, with no discipline. What matters is that you are healthy and willing to sacrifice for a bright future. Loyalty means sincerity, to keep one heart in the heart, and promise not to betray. A man will never be a great man without a great woman by his side who always gives support and hope, in every step and decision taken. True love sees weakness and then turns it into an advantage to always love. Live as if you will die tomorrow, and be happy as you will live forever. The most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Never argue with stupid people, they will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. The truth must be served like a code, and not thrown in the face like a wet towel. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Everyone is a moon, and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. Only two things we will regret on the deathbed: that we are little loved and little traveled. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Man will do many things to get himself loved, he will do all things to get himself envied. Wrinkles merely indicate where the smiles have been. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. Is the principal difference between a dog and man. I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and see. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Never argue with a fool, onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. When I was younger I could remember anything whether it had happened or not. But my faculties are decaying now and soon I shall be, so I cannot remember any but the things that never happened. It is sad to go to pieces like this, but we all have to do it. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. Honesty, the best of all the lost arts. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. Loyalty to country always. Loyalty to government, when it deserves it. Buy land. They're not making it anymore. A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. Personally, I enjoy working about 18 hours a day. Besides the short cat naps I take each day, I average about 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night. Being busy does not always mean real work. The object of all work is production or accomplishment, and to either of these ends there must be forethought, system, planning, intelligence and honest purpose, as well as perspiration. Anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. Its sale is proof of utility, and utility is success. A genius is often merely a talented person who has done all of his or her homework. When I have finally decided that a result is worth getting, I go ahead on it and make trial after trial until it comes. I find out what the world needs. Then I go ahead and try to invent it. My main purpose in life is to make enough money to create ever more inventions. The dove is my emblem. I want to save and advance human life, not destroy it. I am proud of the fact that I have never invented weapons to kill. If we all did the things we are really capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. To invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. I never did a day's work in my life, it was all fun. Hell, there are no rules here, we're trying to accomplish something. I have more respect for the fellow with a single idea who gets there than for the fellow with 1,000 ideas who does nothing. I have friends in overalls whose friendship I would not swap for the favor of the kings of the world. Everything comes to him who hustles while he waits. The man who doesn't make up his mind to cultivate the habit of thinking misses the greatest pleasure in life. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Unfortunately, there seems to be far more opportunity out there than ability. We should remember that good fortune often happens when opportunity meets with preparation. I'd put my money on the sun and solar energy. What a source of power. I hope we don't have to wait until oil and coal run out before we tackle that. I wish I had more years left. I believe that the science of chemistry alone almost proves the existence of an intelligent creator. The world owes nothing to any man, but every man owes something to the world. It's obvious that we don't know 1/1,000,000th of 1% about anything. Fools call wise men fools. A wise man never calls any man a fool. If we all did the things we are really capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. To invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. I never did a day's work in my life, it was all fun. Hell, there are no rules here, we're trying to accomplish something. I have more respect for the fellow with a single idea who gets there than for the fellow with 1,000 ideas who does nothing. I have friends in overalls whose friendship I would not swap for the favor of the kings of the world. Everything comes to him who hustles while he waits. The man who doesn't make up his mind to cultivate the habit of thinking misses the greatest pleasure in life. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something, sometime in your life. Men occasionally stumble over the truth, but most of them pick themselves up and hurry off as if nothing had happened. If you are going through hell, keep going. My tastes are simple, I am easily satisfied with the best. History will be kind to me for I intend to write it. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Tact is the ability to tell someone to go to hell in such a way that they look forward to the trip. Never, never, never give in. I am fond of pigs. Dogs look up to us. Cats look down on us. Pigs treat us as equals. It is not enough that we do our best, sometimes we must do what is required. The best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. A lady came up to me one day and said, "Sir, you are drunk," to which I replied, "I am drunk today, madam, and tomorrow I shall be sober, but you will still be ugly." Kites rise highest against the wind, not with it. Never give in. Never give in. Never, 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 in nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in, except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy. Nothing in life is so exhilarating as to be shot at without result. A fanatic is one who can't change his mind and won't change the subject. Personally, I'm always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. For myself, I am an optimist. It does not seem to be much use to be anything else. The greatest lesson in life is to know that even fools are right sometimes. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. The price of greatness is responsibility. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Don't interrupt me while I'm interrupting. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. He is all the virtues I dislike and none of the vices I admire. An appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile, hoping it will eat him last. To improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often. Our humanity is a bad thing, except for the divinity that stirs within us. Anger will make boring men funny, but it will make them poor. Well-being is not without a lot of fear and difference, not without a lot of comfort and hope. I will live to learn, and not learn to live. Praise from ordinary people is generally wrong, and follows more virtuous vanity. The house is built to be lived in, and not to be seen. Therefore let it be used before uniformity. Whoever is out of patience is due to possessing his soul. Men should not turn into bees, and kill themselves by stinging other people. Courage is always blind, for it sees no danger and discomfort where it is bad in counsel even though it is good at execution. A wise man will create more opportunities than he finds. Prosperity finds its vices, difficulty finds its good. A man who programmed revenge made his own wounds green. Naturally, death is as painful as the birth of a tiny baby. Maybe this hurts as much as anything else. Anyone who is impatient will lose their soul. There is a human nature which is generally more foolish than wise. Therefore, if one looks keenly and attentively, one will see fortune, for though he is blind, yet he is invisible. The worst loneliness is not having true friends. There is no comparison between what is lost with what is not working and what is lost with what is not trying. I often think of death, and I find it the worst of all evils. Man fears death as a child fears the dark, and just as a child's fear is embellished with fairy tales, so is the other thing. They are sick inventors who think that there is no land, when they can see nothing but the sea. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. What is a friend? A single soul dwelling in two bodies. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Hope is a waking dream. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Happiness happiness depends upon ourselves. Anybody can become angry, that is easy, but to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. A friend to all is a friend to none. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow ripening fruit. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. Those who educate children well are more to be honored than they who produce them, for these only gave them life, those the art of living well. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Those who know, do. Those that understand, teach. To perceive is to suffer. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living differ from the dead. Whosoever is delighted in solitude, is either a wild beast or a god. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. It is not enough to win a war, it is more important to organize the peace. The antidote for 50 enemies is one friend. The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. To write well, express yourself like the common people, but think like a wise man. Once a lot of people become discouraged too soon. The name of the game is, you've got to be relentless. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. I advise you to say your dream is possible and then overcome all inconveniences, ignore all the hassles and take a running leap through the hoop, even if it is in flames. Some people would rather get even instead of get ahead. Just because fate doesn't deal you the right cards, it doesn't mean you should give up. It just means you have to play the cards you get to their maximum potential. You take on the responsibility for making your dream a reality. If you run around with 9 losers, pretty soon you'll be the 10th one. Perfection does not exist. You can always do better and you can always grow. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes and move on. Wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. Your motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will invariably come your way. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss you will still be among the stars. Other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Help others achieve their dreams and you will achieve yours. You cannot be wimpy out there on the dream-seeking trail. Dare to break through barriers, to find your own path. Live out of your imagination instead of out of your memory. Luck is nice, but work is something you can control. So get working. Every day, we can either choose to be a victim or we can choose to live life victoriously. If you are carrying strong feelings about something that happened in your past, they may hinder your ability to live in the present. Life problems are opportunities for you to do your best. Don't let your head down. Never give up and grieve. Find another way. And don't pray when it's raining if you don't pray when the sun is shining. Only in our darkest hours may we discover the true power of the brilliant light within us which can never be dimmed. Learn how to be happy with what you have so you can go after all that you want. Besides trying and winning, the best thing is to try and fail. Accept adversity as a necessary discipline. The greatest glory in life lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail. Every difficulty, every failure and every heartache carries with it the seed of equal or greater benefit. Problems are not a stop sign, they are guidelines. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you hit a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb over, overtake, or overcome. Use what you've been through as fuel. Believe in yourself and be unstoppable. The greater the difficulty, the nobler in overcoming it. Skilled pilots earn a reputation from storms and tempests. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop. Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of ways to overcome it. Life is very interesting. In the end, some of your greatest sufferings become your greatest strengths. Fall 7 times, stand up 8 times. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the low voice at the end of the day that says I'll try again tomorrow. Failure would never have happened to me if my determination to succeed was strong enough. Good memories are our second chance at happiness. When life seems hard, the courageous do not lie down and accept defeat. Instead, they are all the more determined to struggle for a better future. Cowards falter, but danger is often overcome by those who nobly dare. It has always been easy to hate and destroy. To build and to cherish is much more difficult. While we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. It's worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. When peace comes, remember it will be for us, the children of today, to make the world of tomorrow a better and happier place. It is through this lens of history that we should view the conflicts of today, and so give us hope for tomorrow. We may hold different points of view, but it is in times of stress and difficulty that we most need to remember that we have much more in common than there is dividing us. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service. Everyone is our neighbor, no matter what race, creed, or color. People are touched by events which have their roots far across the world. Sport has a wonderful way of bringing together people and nations. He has, quite simply, been my strength and stay all these years, and I, and his whole family, and this and many other countries, owe him a debt greater than he would ever claim, or we shall ever know. Although we are capable of great acts of kindness, history teaches us that we sometimes need saving from ourselves, from our recklessness or our greed. Our modern world places such heavy demands on our time and attention that the need to remember our responsibilities to others is greater than ever. I cannot lead you into battle, I do not give you laws or administer justice, but I can do something else. I can give you my heart and my devotion to these old islands and to all the peoples of our brotherhood of nations. Over the years I have observed that some attributes of leadership are universal, and are often about finding ways of encouraging people to combine their efforts, their talents, their insights, their enthusiasm and their inspiration, to work together. Even when your life seems most monotonous, what you do is always of real value and importance to your fellow men. When peace comes, remember it will be for us, the children of today, to make the world of tomorrow a better and happier place. Some cultures believe a long life brings wisdom. I'd like to think so. Perhaps part of that wisdom is to recognize some of life's baffling paradoxes, such as the way human beings have a huge propensity for good, and yet a capacity for evil. Through the many changes I have seen over the years, faith, family, and friendship have been not only a constant for me, but a source of personal comfort and reassurance. I believe that, young or old, we have as much to look forward to with confidence and hope as we have to look back on with pride. As I look to the future, I have no doubt at all that the one certainty is change. But I do not think that we should be over-anxious. We can make sense of the future, if we understand the lessons of the past. It's okay to celebrate success, but it's more important to heed the lessons of failure. To win big, sometimes you have to take big risks. Hope is the ultimate reality. If you believe, that wish will come true. If you have a lot of money, only you forget who you are. But if you have no money at all, the world will forget you. That's life. Hope is a first-class form of truth. If people believe it, then it is true. Success is a bad teacher. It seduces intelligent people into thinking they can fail. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve ourselves. Patience is the key to success. If you are born poor, it is not your fault. But if you die poor, it is your fault. If you fail, it's not your parents' fault, so don't complain about your mistakes, learn from them. Criticism and suggestions are important when you want to grow. Find yourself. The basic idea of the rich is to help the poor. I think that's important. If you can't make something good, at least make it look good. Do what you love and make it your job. Don't compare yourself to anyone in this world. If you do, you are insulting yourself. The world won't care about your self-worth. The world will ask you to achieve something before you feel great. There is nothing more beautiful than a smile that struggles from tears. Hard times are sometimes a blessing in disguise. We do have to suffer, but in the end it makes us stronger, better, and wiser. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The surest way to success is to always try again. Be patient and tough. Someday this pain will be of use to you. Only those who dare to fail can achieve great success. Tough times have helped me to understand better than ever. I realized how rich and beautiful life is in every way, and what people worry about doesn't matter at all. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose hope that is unlimited. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain. Challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Don't worry too much about what will happen. Everything that happens will be good and beneficial for you. When it's hard, lean back and stay strong. Remember, it gets better. This is for you, not against you. I like to use the hard times in the past to motivate me today. Tough times build willpower and inner strength. Through them we can also appreciate the uselessness of anger. Hard times befall everyone. Either way, we'll get out of it. There are good times, there are hard times, but never bad times. Never leave life because of adversity. There is a way out of everything but death. Dark times are not hopeless times. Only pain can make you change. Tough times always lead to something great. Life is a storm that will test you endlessly. Don't wait for calm waters that may not come. Get the goal of endurance. Learn to navigate the raging seas. The world is no longer the same and doesn't always side with us. When we want to try, that's where happiness will be beautiful in time. Life only comes once and opportunity also comes once. Both don't come twice. Life is not as easy as turning the palm of the hand, but with the palm of our hand we can change our lives for the better. Be a person who challenges the future, not a coward who is safe in the comfort zone. Learn to be humble. Humble your heart as low as possible so that no one can humble you. Sometimes when you're in a dark place you think you've been buried, but actually you've been planted. You are stronger than you know, more capable than you could ever dream, and you are loved more than you can imagine. If your heart feels a lot of pain, then learn from that pain not to give pain to others. Life is simple, we make it difficult. Sometimes the sky can look like a blank sheet. It's not. Your star is still there. The earth is just spinning. Don't hate those who say bad things to bring you down, because they are the ones who make you stronger every day. Never underestimate yourself. If you're not happy with your life, fix what went wrong and move on. Just because someone else has been unkind to us, doesn't mean we should repay it in the same way. Success is a form of perfection in life. Everything has an end, that which is over let it pass and rest assured everything will be fine. Don't blame yourself for the wrong decisions. Everyone makes them. Let them learn from your next decision. It is not happiness that makes us grateful, but it is with gratitude that will make our lives happy. The cool thing is not young people who have a lot of style, but young people who do a lot of work. Never give up when you can still try again. It never ends until you stop trying. Entrepreneurs are not smart people, but they are smart looking for smart people. It's better to be ashamed for a moment than to be destroyed forever. Try when you were young so that when you are old you can only enjoy the results. If you get it, you should be grateful. However, if you don't get it, you have to be patient. To be someone who is successful you don't need to bring someone down, just silence is enough to silence everyone's insults. Getting peace is not easy, even many rich people spend their wealth to get peace. Make life possible, you don't have to worry about your problems, just let it flow and look for it. Never let the problems you are facing become an obstacle to achieving your dreams. When you are struggling, you should know that your current struggle will pay off someday. Some people are lucky to be born into rich families. Some are more fortunate because they are given the day and strong bones to be able to work on their own. Appreciate everything you have, before it's all gone. Actually, there is no trial that is so heavy because God only gives trials to those who are strong. Your big dreams won't come true if you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. Fight laziness and prove that your dreams will come true. The universe is intentionally making you fall not because it wants to hear you complain. The universe just wants you to learn how to get up from the pain. Imagining is indeed more fun. But we must realize that what we face is not as beautiful as when we imagine. Laziness destroys all the great plans we have well laid out. Ignore those who are busy thinking about how to make you fall and stop walking, even though they forget that they haven't stepped and are still in the same position. Choose the hiking trail because it will lead us to new peaks. Every sunset is proof that everything has an end. No matter how weak a person's physique is, no matter how poor he is, once his heart has patience, the world can't hurt him. The mountain before our eyes is not the obstacle, but the small stone in the shoe that holds us back. When your desire for success is greater than your fear of failure, you are invincible. Try to be consistent in running your business until you get what you want. Learning is a treasure that will always follow its owner everywhere. Most of us are not grateful for what we already have, but we regret what we have not achieved. One of the keys to happiness is to use your money for experiences, not for desires. When the struggle is not seen by anyone, when the effort is rejected by the universe, don't give up. Don't be discouraged because success is an unusual process. Never give up when facing a test because every clear drop of rain comes from a dark cloud. A great person is not he who achieves success in one attempt, but he always rises and never gives up. Success does not belong to smart people. Success belongs to those who always try. You still have a long way to go, so stop stopping because what you're going to do is still far away. Make every step of life a learning process towards goodness. Verily God is with you and protects you wherever you go. Don't let fatigue rule your day. Immediately look for positive activities and always be grateful. Do not be weak and do not be sad. Difficulty submits to those who struggle. Difficulty submits to those who are patient. Strength accompanies those who are sincere. No matter how heavy the burden of your problems, never give up. Believe that they will never exceed your limits. Always have a good opinion of God's destiny and provisions. The happiest people are those who always have a good opinion of God. For those of you who are bored and hopeless with the state of the house, understand that life does not always have to follow what we want today. For those of you who always try hard to smile, you are great, your efforts will not be in vain. Don't despair. If one door of sustenance is closed, it could be because Allah will soon open another, even bigger door of sustenance. Desperation is not an option. Keep on being patient, trying, and trusting. When you are tired, ask God for strength. When you are speechless, talk to God. When you are lonely, God is there. If you can conquer fear to move on in life, then no one can stop you. Commit your life to God and believe in Him. You should know that something that is destined to happen to you cannot escape you, and everything that is destined to escape you will certainly not happen to you. If your dream has not been achieved, don't change the dream, but change the strategy. Keep going in pursuit of your dreams. Keep going to reach what you dream of. Don't give up easily. Don't compare yourself to others. Just compare yourself to your past. Do not despair because no matter how slowly you walk towards goodness, in the end you will also arrive at a place that is overflowing with goodness. No struggle is in vain. Our tiredness today is the bridge that will connect us to our dreams. If it's wrong, Fix it. If it fails, try again. But if you give up and give up, everything will be over. While you are still breathing, while there is an opportunity to improve your life, never give up. Obstacles ahead give you a choice, which is to keep fighting or give up to lose. There is always hope for those who pray often. There is always a way for those who try often. The body may be tired, but the heart cannot give up. Failure is victory delayed. Don't give up and despair because giving up means no victory. Never stop praying, keep fighting and face the obstacles that exist. Your body may be tired, your eyes may be wet, but your heart may not be weak. Don't lose your soul, never give up, get back up, come back strong. Don't just stand still, move. The earth keeps turning and time keeps going. Don't give up just because you failed the first time. Something valuable will not come easily to you. Keep trying. Don't give up if your dreams haven't come true. With enthusiasm and positive thinking, all the impossible things can become possible. Don't despair when the problem doesn't go away. Everything has an end. Keep trying and everything will be beautiful in its time. Whatever happens today, keep hoping well and don't despair. There is still much you can do to improve the future. Don't spend your life worrying and despairing, take more action and start now. Try not to be complacent so that the good becomes better and the better becomes the best. Live like flowing water, he always does not give up. No matter how steep the road is, he is always consistent on the path, namely the estuary. Don't give up easily because despair will only lead us to stupidity and paralyze the spirit. Life is a process, life is learning without age limits and without old words. If you fail, don't despair, build again with new tips, and so on until you find the most appropriate formula for success. Don't give up hope in every effort. Believe that every prayer will be answered, only Allah knows when the time is right to answer all your prayers. Don't give up, today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but broadly there will be sunshine. Don't be discouraged if you haven't succeeded in achieving something. The important thing is to go through the process and learn from mistakes. Sometimes we get discouraged, but never give up because the sun always sets every night, but rises again the next day. When you decide to fight, then fight to the end with prayer and sincerity. Strengthen your heart, do not be weak in spirit because there is a reward for your efforts. About everything that has been destined, never give up trying. Every drop of sweat will certainly get a reward. Success is the ability to move on from failure without losing enthusiasm. Don't give up on your dreams. Dreams give you a purpose in life. Remember, success is not the key to happiness, happiness is the key to success. Desperation is not a disaster, but a choice. Enjoy there must be sorrow. Do not give up, because in despair, we are nothing more than losers. Change is not to be better than others, but to be better than you were before. Never worry about your future and never regret the decisions you make because God has arranged the best for you. Don't give up when your prayers have not been answered. If you are able to be patient, Allah is able to give you more than what you ask for. Doubt and hopelessness are the greatest enemies of achieving dreams. Feeling down, stressed, hopeless, it's all normal. Stop for a moment, refresh, and get up again with enthusiasm. The key to success is having a will, strong determination, sincerity, and not giving up even when hit by a storm. Your best investment is in yourself. You can't compare it to others. Be a person who dares to challenge the future, not a coward who stays in his comfort zone. Just because your process took longer than others doesn't mean you failed. When you want to give up, remember how long you fought, endured, and got through everything. Progress doesn't come when we compare ourselves to others. It comes when we focus all of our energy on doing our best in the present moment. If we don't give up easily, then we are very close to success. Because in this world, there are two people who are hard to beat, namely people who are patient and people who don't give up easily. Pride will only gain the shame of being defeated by humility. Don't look down on yourself to get something, but lower your heart to give something. People who live in sincerity and humility will become a successful person. Humility is good because it is far from arrogant, as long as you don't feel inferior because you will lose opportunities. The true happiness of life is to live humbly. Live life properly. The sun is seen by people or not, it still shines. Appreciate it or not, it still illuminates. The key to glory is humility and the key to goodness is piety. If you always feel great, it will be difficult to respect others. Share rice, the more filled it will be, the more it will bow. Life is a long lesson in humility. Make weaknesses as motivation, and strengths as humility. True knowledge is in consciousness if you know nothing. Humility is when people call you rich, but your life is simple. There is no dream too high to achieve, there is only intention too low to step on. Humility is always more pleasing than pride. One who does not have humility, he does not have the care of love. Humility can make a person look very special in the eyes of others. Pride is only a component that can make us feel enslaved. Stay humble. When all is controlled by the lust of anger, then humility will solve all problems. When we feel we no longer need to learn, that's when we also need to learn the many meanings of humility. Live humbly, no matter how rich you are. Don't be sad because of the shortcomings you have. Don't be arrogant because of the advantages you have. Stay humble and do something meaningful. If you don't have it, be grateful for what you already have. If you have one, be humble and be frugal. Humility seems weak, but strong, looks like it is below, but is actually above. A mistake that makes us humble is better than an achievement that makes us arrogant. Simplicity is able to give us space to think more deeply about the meaning of life. Remember, stay humble and always be grateful for all that we have and all that we have accomplished today. Forgiveness is a hallmark of humility. In humility, there is greatness of soul and submission. Never think of yourself as great, but try to be humble, because that's how sustenance will come to us. Your humility will not make you a despicable human being. Instead, your humility will make you more honorable in front of others. Unpretentious but rich, loyal even though there are many choices, spoiled even though a fighter, and humble but great. Stay humble no matter how high our position is, stay confident no matter how lacking we are. Stay grateful in all circumstances. Never feel noble by demeaning others. Glory will belong to those who are humble. Adults are wise, responsible, always grateful, and humble people. Humility can be strong wings to fly high. Showing off is a stupid idea for a win. Pride invites a higher honor, but humility invites a much higher kind of honor. A humble person will be comfortable and other people will also be comfortable around him. Humility is like standing up straight and sitting the same low. The higher we are placed, the more humble we must walk.